Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a video today, a little bit different from what I normally do. We're going to go to a restaurant and try authentic Asturian food. We're going to go to a sidreria, cider house, or cider bar if you like, and try out some of the local cuisine. Asturias has some of the best food in Spain, one of the most famous cuisines in this country, and I reckon that it would be difficult to find a Spaniard that doesn't like food from this region. So that's what we're going to do, try some of the traditional cuisine from here. Now I'm in a small town called Kangas Del Narcea, which is the biggest town in this region of Narcea, one of the biggest regions I think in Asturias. We're in Western Asturias, and if you saw the video that I did the other day, or posted the other day, you will know just how much I love this part of Asturias. So let's go to the restaurant, and on the way there, we'll have a bit of a chat about Asturian food. So let's go. Now we're taking a walk down the Calle Mayor, the main street of Kangas Del Narcea. Bit of activity today, being Saturday. See young people out and about, old people out and about, and enjoying the good weather, which is unusual in this part of Spain because it quite often rains, but today a sunny day. The locals out and about enjoying the local cuisine. This is obviously the popular bar and restaurant part of this town. A little bit noisy. And there we can see the name of the town where we are, Kangas Del Narcea. Now we've got past the hustle and bustle of the restaurant area, and a little bit quieter here. Florist here on my right with flowers in bloom, as we can see. Here's one of the locals. The bird's name is Flawed, and the rules: you're not allowed to scare the bird. 6 years old, and not allowed to give it anything to eat. She gets a little bit nervous, a little bit scared if too many people are around, but she's quite calm at the moment. And here's an idea of just where we are exactly in Asturias. You can see there that Madrid is 476 kilometers away, and different parts of Asturias also mentioned there. Ibiza is 48 kilometers away, Tapia de Casariego 107, Terredo 46 kilometers, and of course the capital of Oviedo, the capital of Asturias, Oviedo, 98 kilometers away from where we are. Now, as I said, Asturian cuisine, in my opinion, one of the better cuisines in this country, and I said at the beginning of the video that I think the majority of Spaniards would agree that the food from this part of the country is marvelous. Big size meals, famous for the bean dishes, the fabada that we just saw, big meat dishes as well. Not really for the faint-hearted, I will say that. You have to get used to seeing a big plate of food in front of you, but that's what a lot of people like. They like to see big meals on their plates. And when you get the chance to dine in one of these unique villages or small towns in this region, it is an absolute treat. Now, food in this part of the world can be divided into two main types. You've got the areas close to the coast where you get a lot of seafood, fish. And then of course behind the mountains, Asturias is an area that has sea and mountains. Then of course in this part of Asturias, as you can see with mountains behind me, very heavy meat dishes here, or heavily based meat diet, and that's what we're going to try, the famous cachopo. Now if you're not familiar with a cachopo, it is a huge fried piece of meat that normally has something on the inside, a filling, maybe a cheese type filling, ham or something like that, and I absolutely love them. Kids love them, everybody loves cachopos, and that's what we're going to try. Now, if you're looking to put on weight, Asturias is definitely the place that you need to be. But if you're looking to lose weight, probably not the best place to be. And you'll see that in a minute when we start eating the size of the meals. So, some traditional dishes here, apart from the cachopo, well, obviously meat dishes, things like the chuletón de vaca, which is a big T-bone steak. You've also got the other casserole or stew type dishes, apart from fabada, pote, Cheeses also very popular here, very famous Asturian cheeses, cabrales, which is like a blue cheese, very tasty. And of course these green hills that you can see behind me are what feed the produce, or what feed the animals that give this area such fantastic cuisine. Down there we can see how the locals stay cool in the summer months. A natural type pool, a few kids taking a dip and enjoying the fantastic weather that we have today. Here we have the local town hall building, and the mayor has a fantastic view of the valley. And of course when you finish your main meal, after you've had your starters, your main meal, desserts are also a treat in this part of the world. The Asturian cheesecake, one of the best that I have had. Get an idea of some of the local activity here on a Saturday afternoon around 1 p.m. People out and about enjoying the aperitivo, and that's exactly what we are going to do. Have a nice cold beer and enjoy a tapa. A traditional thing to do here in Spain. You have an aperitif or a drink before you start your meal, and that's what everybody's doing. So when in Asturias, do as the locals do. Cheers. Okay, so we're heading down to the restaurant where we're going to have lunch, the cider bar, if you like. We went there last night, that's how we know it, and it's a very tasty restaurant, so we'll go and check it out. And here are some of the things that are on offer. Red meat, cheese, vegetables, cachopo, which is what we're going to have, and they've got a special weekend menu, fabada, and different tapas and homemade desserts. And I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to this meal. Okay, so we've ordered the food. The first two dishes have arrived. As we can see here, we've got a salad, tomato salad with tuna, and also over here we have Pimientos De Padron, which is not a local dish. They come from Galicia, but very, very tasty indeed. So we're going to tuck into this food now. All right, so the first thing we're going to try is the Pimiento De Padron. As I said, a small green pepper, fried, salt on top. Delicious. And the salad that we have here, as we can see, local tomatoes, perfectly ripe, and we have tuna on top, what they call here ventresca de atún, very, very tasty, and I'm going to dig in and try some of this. If I can serve some of this up. Looking very tasty. Camera person, let's tuck into the tuna. Fantastic. Tomato, very ripe. Local tomatoes, I believe. Tasty, just the right amount of salt, and an absolutely perfect way, fantastic way to start this meal. As I said before, these Pimientos de Padron, Padron is a small town in Galicia, close to Santiago de Compostela, and these are typical from that area here, and also here in Asturias, because we're close to Galicia. You can get these all over Spain. You can buy them at supermarkets with a little bit of salt on top. Very, very tasty. And of course with the local bread as well, pan, typical in this part of the world as well. Check out that for quality bread. Absolutely brilliant bread. Put a little bit of local cheese on it, and away we go. And of course, how could I forget the wine, local wine from the area, a wine called Siete Vidas, white wine. Red wine's available as well from this area, and a very light, fruity wine, and perfect for this type of meal. And now we have the piece de la resistance, as they say, the cachopo. Now, difficult to describe what this is, but it's a huge piece of meat that comes with fries or chips. As we can see, it is stuffed with ham and cheese on the inside. So it's fried piece of meat similar to a milanesa, and typical in this part of Spain, very popular all over Spain at the moment. And as we can see, very tender meat with the stuffing. I'm going to try this, the melted cheese. Let's try it. Delightful. So the combination of breadcrumbs, meat, steak, with the filling, Spanish ham, local cheese, cooked perfectly. Melts in the mouth. So I'm halfway through my half of this, and I reckon I'm almost done and dusted, full, because this is a very filling meal, and I reckon we're going to have to get that to take away. It's too much. That's one of the things that I said before with the food sizes or the portion sizes here in Asturias. Very big, and sometimes too much food on the plate. And the final thing today is the Asturian cheesecake. Baked cheesecake, very, very tasty. I tried it last night with red fruit on top, and see the crust here, very creamy, delight to eat, and a perfect way to finish off your meal here in Asturias. And they've also given us a chupito. Muchas gracias. And I'm going to try some of this as well, which is a local liqueur. Also typical that they give you one of these at the end of the meal. De fresa será? Naranja. So an orange liqueur to accompany the dessert. So we couldn't finish off the cachopo, but the cheesecake, as we can see here, has almost come to an end, because when it comes to desserts, sweet tooth, I can't resist. So now we've got the worst part of the meal, which is the bill, 60 euros and 90 cents, as we can see. Reasonable, I would say, for two people, with a bottle of wine, half a salad, Pimientos De Padron, Cachopo, which was enough for two, takeaway as well, bread, and also dessert. I reckon it's worth it. So a thumbs up for this place. So that's my Asturian food experience done and dusted. The main plate there, or the main dish, the Cachopo. I highly recommend that dish. The starters, we had the Pimientos De Padron, the green peppers from Galicia. We also had the tomato and tuna salad, topped off with a fantastic dessert, Asturian cheesecake, and of course a local white wine. And don't forget the chupito, which was also an important part of the meal. 60 euros and 50 cents or something like that. So quite reasonable, I think, for two people, and really enjoyed the meal. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Tell us about your Asturian food experience, or your experience with food in general in this country. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I've got my doggy bag here to take home to finish off that cachopo, and that's going to be a treat later on today. So I'll see you guys later. Hasta luego.